You're listening to short inspirations from Ralph. Insecurity, the bane of many leaders, Part 4. As a leader over many years, I've come to see that one of the great strengths of a leader is the ability to make decisions. Many decisions, all sorts of decisions, big and small. There must have been multi-thousands of them that were made during my time as leader of a large church that had staff and many volunteers involved. And yet when I observe many leaders, I find a significant number of leaders really struggle to make decisions. They're indecisive and put off making a decision, or they'll say they'll think about it, or if they're a church leader they'll pray about it, but decisions are not made, and their organisation suffers for that. They will not grow an organisation or church when there is a lack of decision making at the top. So the question here is, why is that? Again, when we dig down we find an insecurity there. It's really called powerlessness. A person senses or feels that they are unable to influence their world effectively. Agency is another name for this, and that means an action or intervention producing a particular effect. It's probably going back a number of years with a person where they were disempowered in some way throughout their life. They've never been trusted or empowered. Rather, they have been stifled or controlled in some form. Might have been a domineering parent or sibling or some other relationship where you were like a puppet on a string. Or maybe just a marked lack of encouragement in your life or empowerment. And so as a leader, when confronted with difficult situations, you would rather hide or run away than face up to those things. In the worst case scenario, you may even abdicate your leadership or authority to another dominating person, even if you carry the title still. So there is rebuilding that needs to take place. We need to have our own sense of personal power. We need to know that we are not powerless, but can influence our world. Here's a great prayer that Paul prayed or wrote to the Ephesians that I'm going to speak out now. It's Ephesians 3:16 and 17 in the Passion Translation. It says there, "And I pray that he would unveil within you the unlimited riches of his glory and favour, until supernatural strength floods your innermost being with his divine might and explosive power. Then, by constantly using your faith, the life of Christ will be released deep inside you, and the resting place of his love will become the very source and root of your life." Down in verse 20 he says this, "Never doubt God's mighty power to work in you and accomplish all this. He will achieve infinitely more than your greatest request, your most unbelievable dream, and exceed your wildest imagination. He will outdo them all, for his miraculous power constantly energizes you." Wow. Another insecurity that can emerge in our leadership is also in the area of influence, as Richard Black talks about. One is agency, we've just talked about that. The second one is progress. We need a sense of purpose in our life and know that we are moving towards that purpose. We need a sense of growth and progression, and that we're not stuck in a rut, spinning our wheels or going around the mountain one more time. At times this can be the result of relying on formula to achieve certain things. There's a way that this has worked in the past, so it will work again. And so we resist change. Eric Harper said this, In times of profound change, the learners inherit the earth, while the learned find themselves beautifully equipped to deal with a world that no longer exists. Another reason why people can sense a lack of progress is really an inability to deal with disappointments that come their way. So over the course of time there will be things that are very difficult to handle. There'll be disappointments, and in church life people leave and people get upset with the leaders, and you can get upset with your own failures, and all that stuff can stop you in your tracks. My encouragement to you today is to keep pressing on. Don't let those things put you off, because what you are doing is too important to be halted in your tracks. Bob Dylan sang that song, "Well, I'm pressing on, yes, I'm pressing on. Well, I'm pressing on to the higher calling of my Lord." And in the second verse he says, "Shake the dust off of your feet. Don't look back. Nothing now can hold you down, nothing that you lack. I'm pressing on to the higher calling of my Lord." God bless you today.